Right now, a violent stream of highly charged ionized radiation is screaming toward Earth at roughly 1,000,000 miles per hour. If that solar wind hit our planet directly, our atmosphere would be stripped away instantly, boiling off into the vacuum of space. Yet we look around and see a blue sky. The planet isn't a barren, irradiated rock. This is the magnetosphere. It operates as an invisible fortress of pure electromagnetic energy that intercepts that lethal solar wind and physically bends it around the globe. Deflecting that sheer volume of cosmic energy every second of every day requires a massive, continuously running generator. To find the power source, we have to look away from outer space and travel 2,000 miles straight down into the dark. Beneath the mantle sits the Earth's core, a churning, highly pressurized ocean of molten liquid iron. Every living thing on the surface survives solely because of the mechanics of how this boiling liquid rock projects a protective shield thousands of miles back out into space. This cross-section shows Earth's interior. Extreme heat from the deepest core forces liquid metal to boil upward, cool, and sink, creating vertical convection currents. Because Earth is spinning, the Coriolis force grabs those rising currents and twists them into tight, spiraling columns. This specific mechanical pairing, intense thermal heat combined with planetary rotation, functions as a massive dynamo, and it takes the kinetic energy of the moving fluid and converts it directly into enormous electrical currents. Those localized currents compound, generating a unified magnetic field that blasts up through the crust to form the magnetosphere. But because this geothermal engine is driven by a sloshing, turbulent liquid rather than a solid piece of machinery, the shield it projects is inherently restless. You can see this restlessness when you try to navigate. Standard maps rely on the geographic pole, which is the fixed physical axis the planet spins on. The magnetic pole is a different animal. It is simply the specific location on the crust where the local magnetic field lines point vertically, plunging straight down into the Earth. This map reveals the messy reality of the liquid core. The north magnetic pole actively wanders, currently migrating on a rapid, jagged path from Arctic Canada toward northern Siberia. To account for all these erratic local variations, physicists calculate the geomagnetic pole, which is a broad, planetary-scale average of the entire field. When the harsh ions from outer space encounter our shield, they are funneled toward these broader geomagnetic poles. The energy bleeds into the atmosphere, creating the auroras. The fluid dynamics of the core ensure a permanent disconnect. The geography on our maps is stationary, but the magnetic reality keeping us safe is always moving. That constant movement presents a clear stress test. Occasionally, the convection currents in the core become so chaotic that the entire engine loses its balance. When the flow breaks down, the magnetic poles flip their orientation completely. North becomes south, and south becomes north. We know this happens because the evidence is written directly into the ocean floor. At a mid-ocean ridge, molten rock pushes up and solidifies. Iron-rich minerals align with the magnetic field, locking in the pole's orientation. As the seafloor spreads, it creates distinct bands of rock with alternating magnetic signatures, dating historical reversals. This geological tape recorder proves that magnetic flips happen relatively quickly, with the last major reversal occurring about 700,000 years ago, which raises a critical question. If the engine flips, does the invisible shield drop, leaving the planet exposed to the solar wind? The geologic record shows that these reversals have had absolutely no significant impact on the survival of plant or animal life. During a flip, the field doesn't disappear. It weakens and fractures, creating multiple chaotic poles across the globe. But even in this fragmented, weakened state, there is still enough ambient magnetism surrounding the planet to successfully deflect the solar wind. Earth's defense mechanism is not a rigid wall waiting to be shattered. It is a restless, churning, fluid engine, and it is exactly that chaotic adaptability that guarantees our survival.